All right. Hey, Diane, thank you for joining me today. And we've been getting a lot of questions about the Corporate Transparency Act, beneficial ownership reporting, and just thought it might be useful to answer some of the questions that are coming in and maybe provide a little bit of insight how this might affect clients, their businesses, LLCs, things of that nature. Okay, so thanks for your time. And I do have a list of questions here in front of me. So we'll just start with that. All right.
All right.
All right. So maybe let's just start with what is the Corporate Transparency Act and what does it aim to achieve?
So actually, I was just downstairs and a client came in and they asked me, what's this BO thing? So it is basically the government's attempt to address money laundering in the United States and kind of try to track it down.
Okay. And maybe which entities are required to comply with the reporting requirements under the Act?
So any company that has to file with the Department of State to be recognized as an entity is a company that needs to do this reporting. There are a few exceptions. If you're a tax exempt entity, basically a nonprofit, you don't have to. So examples would be limited liability companies, corporations, and similar entities. So again, it's basically having to file with the state in order to be recognized. So some examples of companies that wouldn't have to do this would be sole proprietorships. They're just a single individual operating a business under their individual name. They wouldn't need to file. If you have a fictitious name, you wouldn't need to file. General partnerships normally don't have to, but there are some limited liability partnerships that have to be recorded with the state, so they would need to comply with the reporting requirements.
Oh, okay. So that's good information. And
Mhm.
what information, when they're doing the reporting, like what kind of information do the companies actually need to report?
So each company has to submit info to it's the U.S. Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. So abbreviated, that's FinCEN, and they have an e-filing system that just went live at the beginning of the year. What they need to provide is the full legal name of the company, any trade names or doing business as names, their address, the state that they were actually formed or registered, and their tax ID. So along with that, that's just the generic company information. They also have to report the similar information on who their actual beneficial owners are, like who owns the entity. It's kind of the same thing. It's their name, their birth date, their address, and they also have to submit a unique identifying document, a form of ID. Normally that's a driver's license or a passport.
Okay, that makes sense. Typical government things that you might need to report in a situation like this. So beneficial ownership, kind of a new term. What do they actually mean by beneficial ownership and why is it important?
So, beneficial ownership is basically the natural person or the individuals who either directly or indirectly own or control the company. So, the goal is basically to uncover those true owners, to prevent the misuse of a corporate structure for illicit purposes, money laundering, terrorist financing, and/or other financial crimes. So, it's someone who actually exercises control over that company. It could be someone that maybe doesn't really have ownership, but it could be a senior officer, such as a president, chief financial officer, or operating officer.
Oh, okay. And then I'm sure there's a deadline that you have to report by. So could you share that?
There is. So if you create a new company in 2024, the rules are that you must file within 90 days of when that entity is created or when the state recognizes them. Now, this is only a temporary relief. The original bill was all new companies have to file within 30 days. So beginning in 2025, all new companies, it's 30 days that this information needs to be filed with FinCEN. If you're an existing company, like you were created before 2024, then you have until the end of this year to get your information in. And in addition, all changes, like if there's any change where the business is located or where some of the owners live, all of that information has to be updated within 30 days of the change.
Okay, good information. And so we've gone over what information do we need to report. We've talked about, what is beneficial ownership. We know when we have to report by. Okay, now where do I send the report to? Where do I actually file the report?
So you want to go to FinCEN's website, which is www.fincin.gov/BOI. And there will be instructions on that website. There's something called a small entity compliance guide that gives a lot of information about how it works and what you need to do. And this information is filed electronically.
Okay. And so I should probably say at this point that nothing in this Q&A constitutes financial or tax advice. However, let's say that some of this might apply to me or my business, or I think it might. Who can I reach out to if I have a question?
Well, certainly you can reach out to us and we will do our best to help you resolve any of those questions or that you have. If we can't get you a good answer or a final answer, then we would refer you to competent legal professionals who would be able to assist in identifying who those actual beneficial owners are and what information, like how far it goes down and who may need to report that.
Okay, perfect. And am I right in saying that there's no fee for filing the report?
You are correct. There is no fee. You just go directly to the FinCEN website to do that. There also has been information put out there. Everyone wants to be very careful. There's these companies that are trying to elicit information inappropriately. So just be cautious if you are solicited. FinCEN will not solicit information. So you don't want to click on URLs or QR codes or pay someone a fee that's not necessary. So just be careful of, like those people out there that are not in good order.
Good advice. Good advice. As with anything, there's always, someone out there willing to take advantage. So we'll be careful.
Right.
All right. So there's no fee to file. What if I don't file? How much are they gonna charge me?
Well, there's some hefty penalties. So there's not a whole lot of information out there. We're trying to educate everyone. There are civil penalties of up to $500 per day if you don't get these reports in. So timing is of the essence. And there also can be criminal penalties up to $10,000 as well as 2 years of imprisonment. So we don't want to have our clients miss getting this information in there.
All right. I think that pretty much covers it. Thank you so much. Just like we said, if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out. We'll be happy to assist you. And thanks for listening.
Yep. Thank you.
Bye.